Oh,
Could talk about some keys to Vanderbilt, but just real quickly, let's look at some of the numbers here. Diego Pavia is their leading rusher and their leading passing, of course, quarterback, passing yards. 1,698 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks, completion percentage of 68.8%. Running the football, he leads the team in carries, leads the team in yards, and is second in rushing touchdowns. 85 carries, 458 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Leading running back would be Cedric Alexander, 73 for 388 and 6 touchdowns. And then their leading receiver, kind of have a trio here. Eli Stowers is by far and away, I think, their best. I think he's arguably their best player in general. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
31 catches for 397 and 2 touchdowns. Junior Sherrill, 26 receptions, 312 yards, 5 touchdowns on the season. And then Trey Richardson, 24 catches, 304 yards, and 1 touchdown. Vanderbilt's a good football team. They have some good wins on their resume. They have beaten Virginia Tech. They've beaten South Carolina. South Carolina win, in hindsight, not that impressive. They were ranked 11th at the time. They're no longer ranked. And I believe Lenore Sellers got hurt in that game. Then they lost to Alabama, 30-14. In the past 2 weeks, they beat LSU. Obviously, how good is the LSU win? Not too sure. And they beat Missouri, who had their third-string quarterback playing in this game. And they only won that game by 7 points. So, B. Ross, what are your thoughts on the Vanderbilt game? And then we'll talk about some keys a little later.
Yeah, man. So going into the season, I thought this would be a big game because I knew how good the Vanderbilt team was because of how they run the ball. It's a spread option running attack. That's why it's 3 guys with 300 yards receiving. They do a good job of spreading the ball around to their guys, and they're very creative on offense with their motions and just their blocking schemes and how they manipulate and hide what they're really trying to do at the point of attack. With that being said, the key to the game is going to be creating internal pressure in Pavia's face. He's short. He's a little dude. So with that, in the running pass game, penetration from our D tackles is going to be key. Alex January is going to have his best game. Canoe, best game. Like that room is going to have to step up in ways that they don't know because penetration destroys the triple option. It destroys the passing game. And for short quarterbacks, what does it do? It forces them to move out of the pocket. That's all Bama did. Bama made him go outside the pocket. Why? Because that's where all their speed is. So if you're telling me that we got Colin Simmons spying Pavia, you know what? I'm taking Colin Simmons 9 out of 10 times winning that matchup. So our ability to affect him and get hits on him, when he carries the ball, we got to make him pay.
Yes.
We have to get the offensive coordinator out of rhythm because he doesn't want to get the quarterback hurt. Granted, he's a pretty tough kid, runs the ball with physicality. He's not sliding. That's why you got to make him pay. You have to get as many hits on the quarterback as you can, especially when he is a runner. And I think everything else kind of falls in place because if he can't get going, the offense is stagnant. He is the thing that makes the thing go in the running pass game. And Eli Stowers will be an interesting matchup just because they do a good job of moving him around, put him in different spots to get him open. So whoever's matched up on him, I'm hoping it's Jelani because I think that's the perfect matchup for him. A guy with some size, some strength,
speed.
Like to me, like this is a Jelani McDonald. When you are in coverage on him, take his ass out the game. And I think he's more than capable of doing it. But to me, that all depends on if Michael Taft plays. Does he play in any capacity? Because if he does, Jelani is allowed to play ball. Yeah. See, now I don't know because now we might see some linebackers on him, and that's a matchup he can win. Like he's a good football player. But yeah, everything starts with the quarterback.
Yeah,
internal pressure. Keep him in the pocket because he can't see. That's why he scrambles when things go south. He doesn't step up in the pocket. He looks for outlets on the outside because he can't see.
Yeah. So far this year, they went up against 4 SEC teams. All 4 of the teams at the time of playing them were ranked. He had 177 passing yards versus South Carolina, 198 versus Alabama. They were playing from behind, so they passed a lot more. 160 versus LSU and 129 versus Missouri. So this is not going to be a really heavy passing attack. They're going to try to move the chains, eat up time of possession, run the football effectively. And as you mentioned, Diego Pavia is the catalyst of this offense. He is basically everything for this team, right? He is the guy that brings the energy, the guy that brings the swagger, the guy that gives them the productivity. They have a lot of older players. This is a very experienced football team. Obviously, Pavia has a lot of experience, but a lot of other guys have a lot of experience on this team on the defense and offensive side. You compare that to Texas, who's a very kind of younger team, right? I think the average age at Texas is like 19. I think the average age at Vanderbilt's like 22 or something like that. So very experienced football team here in Vanderbilt. But, you know, when I look at their resume so far this year, I don't necessarily think this team is as good as what that, you know, AP poll ranking might suggest. You hear number 9, you're like, oh, this is going to be a really freaking good team. No disrespect to Missouri. They're a great football team. I don't know if I'd call them a top 10 team in the country.
No.
But still, look, they've won all their games. I think the best game for Texas to look at would be the LSU game, because LSU is kind of similar to Texas in terms of good defense, you know, inconsistent offense. I think Texas's highs are a lot better than LSU's. I'll say that, because LSU is just a really stagnant offense. Texas has some really good highs.
LSU can't run the ball to save their life.
No, they can't. Well,
they don't commit to it.
Can Texas?
When we're healthy, we can. And that's the issue, is like health right now. We aren't a healthy football team. From the quarterback to our safety to both running backs being banged up. Like, we're just not healthy.
And that's going to bring me to my first key to this game. If Arch does not play, Matthew Caldwell has to be a point guard. He has to make the layups. He's got to dish the ball in great ways. And I think Steve Sarkisian needs to set him up for success, because and by the way, I think Caldwell is going to run a system that's a lot more in line to what we've seen in past years, because I think he can play 100%. With some anticipation, as we've seen a couple of throws this year where he's throwing guys open. He doesn't have a crazy arm, so I'm not expecting a lot of deep shots down the field, but I think this, with Matthew Caldwell being here, I think it might open up a little bit more of that intermediate game, which was really, really where Quinn thrived the past few years at Texas. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that in this game, and maybe that'll make Sarkisian a little bit more comfortable with this matchup. So that's my number one key. Matthew Caldwell, if he starts, can he be a point guard? If it's Arch, you know, can Arch replicate that success in the fourth quarter against Mississippi State? Can we spread it out a little bit more? Can we make some big shots down the field? Can we run the football? Can we have a functional, you know, thriving offense? Because if we found something there, that's really exciting. If not, if we do have Caldwell out there, I expect a bit more of a methodical, not big play approach, but very much like what we saw from Quinn Ewers last year.
But that's how he should be calling for Arch to me.
Yeah.
Just like take the game out of his hands sometimes and say, you're running, you know, slants on this side, slant on this side, 3-step drop, get rid of it, completion. Like, you know what I mean? Call the game like he's a backup quarterback, because he clearly played better as a backup last year, right? Like we saw a lot more, but now he's trying to, no, bro, let Arch just manage the game. Let him be Alex Smith. Alex Smith, I hated playing Alex Smith. You know why? Alex Smith didn't make effing mistakes. Why? Because Andy Reid never gave him a chance to. He never gave him a chance to do something stupid. Hated playing Alex Smith. It was so boring. You just sit there, just backpedal and break.
Yep. Well, I think one of the weird things for Texas is that we've won games in multiple ways, but we just don't have an identity. Like Oklahoma, it was very much like how Alex Smith was, where we were running the football effectively. Arch, just get the ball, you know, no shots down the field, a lot of just dinking and dunking, getting the ball out to your playmakers, run the football well. And then last week it was, we can't run the ball, so we're going to spread it out wide, and we're going to get the ball to Ryan Wingo on some screens. He'll take it 50 yards. We're going to take some deep shots here and there. Like, it's weird to me how Texas hasn't figured out their identity yet. And so that's why I'm kind of like, okay, if Arch does play, I'm interested to see how Sark calls it. Does he call it a bit more like that fourth quarter, hurry up?
I would
spread
hope
it out.
So.
I think we could, because we're more athletic than Vanderbilt, way more athletic.
Yes.
Vanderbilt has some good players, and they're not going to make a ton of mistakes in coverage, but our guys can get behind them. They can stack and make some separation. And usually Arch, when guys are open downfield, he usually layers the ball really well. So
he does.
If Arch is playing, I think we're going to see more of what we saw in the fourth quarter. If Caldwell plays, which I think as of today, if I was a betting man, I think Caldwell does
Caldwell
play.
plays. Yeah.
So I expect to see a lot more of a 2024 Texas offense. And, look, the short time we've seen Caldwell play, he's looked really freaking good. And so that's exciting to me.
Yes.
I think one of my underlying concerns is that what if Caldwell does play well?
That's why I said that's gonna suck for Arch. If he plays well, we beat Vanderbilt. Like, let's say we beat them by 14.
Oof.
Like, you can't. You talking about an issue that creates
Sark
a whole set of problems for Sark and Texas, because now it's like, oh, this is working, and then I want to say we get a bye week, and then Georgia.
Yeah, and Georgia.
Right. So now it's like, well, so now that was the first thing I thought about. If Caldwell plays and he plays well, I mean, like, let's say he's efficient, he's 65%, no interceptions, 1 touchdown, throws for $195, 200. We run the ball fairly well. He has 56 yards rushing on the ground as well, because he can run.
He can.
He's athletic with his leg. How do you take now? Because now, to me, that's quarterback controversy, because now this is the best offense look all year, because you have a senior operating it at a high efficient level, taking what the defense gives them, but you have the guy who's more talented just like sitting there. Oh man!
And your thing is too is you really can't bench Arch, right?
No,
because you can't. I mean, that would benching a healthy starting quarterback, that kills their confidence.
Red flag. I'm leaving.
Exactly. He would be gone too. If he got benched for Caldwell, he's going to transfer. And so it does present
going to whoever going in the draft.
Oregon.
Dante Moore leaves, he's going to Oregon with Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning
he's
stays
going to Oregon. Yeah, 100%. Or Lanning goes to LSU. He going to LSU.
He going to LSU with Lane. Oh my God! Hey, listen, you can open up a can of worms with the play of Matthew Caldwell. And what Texas does after that. Matthew Caldwell can reshape college football. This would be like the butterfly effect.
He really could.
Oh my God.
That's why I'm like, please play well, win us the game, but let's run the football. Let's just run the football down their throat so we can.
Let's run for like 250. So they're like, he run because of the running game. Yes,
perfect.
He did.
The other thing too about this game, if Caldwell does play, the backup, I believe, would be KJ Lacey. And not Trey Owens. So we are one more injury away from seeing a really young player in at quarterback in a tough situation. The good news is it's going to be at Texas, and it's not a night game. It's at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
So a little bit easier, less stress on a younger quarterback. But yeah, KJ Lacey or Trey Owens, whoever's suited up, ready to go, they got to be ready to play, because just in case, you never know. One hit takes the helmet off, you're out there on the football field.
Yeah.
So this is a stressful week.
So to that point in the keys, like, our O-line has to be the best they've been since probably Ohio State. And to me, that was the best game they played all year, which is crazy to say. That was
in Oklahoma.
Yes. Because we didn't allow sacks and we ran the ball well. Both of those games. And they are going to have to step up regardless of who's at quarterback, because now if Arch is at quarterback, you have to protect him with even more urgency because of the injury he's coming off of. If it's your backup quarterback, he's not Arch. You have to protect with more urgency. You know what I mean? Like, it's you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, but the O-line has to be the best they've been since those 2 games for us to even have a real chance.
Yeah. So Vanderbilt has he's a good edge rusher. Miles Capers, he is a senior, has 4.5 sacks in the year. Zaylen Wood, interior defensive lineman, has 3 sacks. They got a safety, CJ Hurd, has an interception on the year, has a forced fumble, I think it leads the team in tackles too. So he's a really good ball player. They're a very experienced defense. You're not going to see this team have a ton of breakdowns, but Texas is more athletic. They're more talented. And the quarterback thing is going to be a really tough conversation. And as you mentioned, there is a chance that this thing does shape college football, depending on how it goes. If it goes good great for Texas, and Caldwell balls out,
Arch is leaving.
Could be could be some headaches going on in Texas town. So you guys let us know in the comments below. What are your keys to Texas beating Vanderbilt with or without Arch? You guys let us know in the comments.